Hey fellow gamers, it's Cozy Mel here with another Palia video for you. We are going to talk to Gina today because several people have asked about the keys to the ancient library, and we're hoping she's going to give us a clue to that today. So we talked to Gina and we asked her if there's any luck with the key. And she says, good news, Hecla and I found the key. Bad news, it didn't unlock the door. Some runes just started to glow along the edges, and Hecla tells me it's some kind of a riddle. One that I don't exactly understand. It was written by ancient humans, so I thought maybe you might be able to help us figure it out. And I'm going to say, well, I'm not optimistic, but I'll try. Thank you so much. Here it is. There is a house. One enters it knowing all and leaves knowing nothing. And I'm going to say that that is a school. And she says that makes sense. And we'll go ahead and chat with her while we're here, just to pump up our friendship level. And now it looks like we will have to wait until she lets us know that she's ready to try to figure out another clue when it comes to the key. Back at home, we can look in our mailbox again, and we have a new letter from Gina. So it says, Dear Melly, you were right. The answer to the riddle was a school. I wasn't able to get in yet, but it did give me a follow-up clue. Stop by and I'll tell you what it is. So Gina needs our help to solve another clue. And knowing this game, there'll be a third because it seems like things come in thirds quite a bit. So we'll go see if we can hunt Gina down. We want to go ahead and try to get together with Gina again for a little talk because she sent us a letter saying that we were right. The answer to the actual um, clue she had was school. So we got that right. And now she has another riddle. The key you hold shows a thirst for knowledge, but the next clue for entering these hallowed doors requires a thirst for something more. Any idea what that could mean? And we will say it could mean water. So she says, yes, maybe the clue is hidden somewhere with water. So she's going to look around the pond and she wants us to look around other water sources. So, okay, we can go and do that. The sculpture, I suppose you would call it, or half sculpture, it's broken. And it is located in the middle of Kilima, right in the center of Kilima Village. So you know where that is on the map, but I can show you. There's Kilima Village. And out here is where the mirror ponds and the mirror ruins are, and that's where Gina hangs out. So we are here in the middle of Kilima Village, and I believe that the central item here used to be some sort of a water fountain before it was broken. So since we didn't find anything in rivers or lakes or ponds or whatnot, I thought, well, we could check this area and see if we get any kind of an interactable clue. Aha, okay, so we can read the inscription. It says, in figuring out the clue rests in this fountain, you deserve much congratulations. But gaining entrance to the library requires passing but one final test. You must find a stone that represents the sands of time. Okay. Well, we've gone back out to the dig site, and Gina is still here. So hopefully we can chat with her again, and we can explain to her what our findings are. So we have told her about the statue being a fountain, And the search for something more was water in the fountain. Yep. Okay, and then you got the fountain. There was another clue, and it said that we needed a stone that represents the sands of time to put into the hilt of the key to open the door. And I think it's a pearl because pearl is made for sand under pressure over time. So that was what my thinking was. And she says there's no harm in trying it out. And I happen to bring a pearl with me. So they will slip the pearl into the key. Voila. Why don't you go open the door since you did all the work? Okay. So finally, we should be able to open this door. Now, if you have done the quest about the masks, then you know that you cannot finish it until you can go in the door of this ancient library. So what we will do is go on down this hallway and we'll turn right when we get down here and see if we can find the spot where there might have been a way to finish the quest that you had about the masks. Okay, here we are in this little room, and there's a blue book right there on top of the shelf. And if you read it, it says, you know, Lyria as Ketsu, Jax as Red Raven, Zephyr as Rock Lizard, Ural as Prism Trout, Sabat as the Ant, and introducing Tyro Wahia as Leontes the Fool. So now you know that this is a playbill that represents a play or an opera called The Kitsu's First Song. So the answer to why you found all of those masks is not that they were some sort of mask for rituals or anything like that. They are actually just masks that were for a play. So it's kind of like, it's interesting, but not that interesting when it comes right down to it. While you are in here, you will also find a book that you can read that is about Reina and her silver shoes and how she loved to dance in the silver shoes. And it's a 4-page book that tells a fairy tale or a story about Reina and how she wanted to reach the stars. And anyway, it's kind of a moral of the story sort of tale of what happens when you, I guess, reach for the stars. But she ends up being a star cluster up in the sky to this very day for Palians. So it's just kind of a cute little side note to this quest, but that's the library part right there. And so we've explored all around and have found several different books that you can read. And this one is called The Kitsu and the Moon. And if you haven't done the Temple of Flames yet and learned about the Kitsu, this is a good one to read because if you read all 14 pages of this, you will know a lot about the Kitsu and why the Kitsu is the way they are. And so it might help you when you're trying to figure out things in the Temple of Flames with Sifu and Hassian. But that's really about all you're going to find in this little temple. So you can go back out and talk to Jina, and hopefully you'll be able to solve a couple of quests that you have been working on. One about the masks and one about how to open the door to the library. So she still has a flag over her head. And we can tell her about the masks, and she's laughing. So, anyway, she says that Our house must have been buried on the site of an old theater rather than some sort of a ritual temple. And she tells us that her father always said, well, if you're too close to it, you can't see anything but the brush strokes. And so maybe sometimes she's too close to the exploration and the things that are found to actually really think about what they might have been that might not be quite so exciting. So, anyway, that is the end of the Open the Door quest. And hopefully that helps you. I'll show you this location, but I'm sure you've been here. This is just where the Muir Ponds are. This is where Gina and Hecla stand for a lot of the day because this is where she's doing her archaeology. And right in here is the door that you open to go in and do the exploring and find the ancient library. And that's it. So if this helped you, I hope you will like and subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified when I drop another video. And I'll see you in the next one.